Today I'm going to talk about the difference between doing a load of uncomfortable things back to back and doing some uncomfortable things but every day. So obviously there's a difference in the magnitude and intensity of those two actions. So for one, the magnitude of the former would be much greater. So I'll go back to it now. Doing a load of uncomfortable things back to back and having them all just done in one day, and how that grows you as a person. So it's not a bad thing, actually, to be able to do it all in one day, because things gradually get less and less uncomfortable as you keep doing them throughout the day. But that's only on a day to day basis. Whereas if you um, let's go to the second option now. If you do a few uncomfortable things but do it every day, that means that you're going to be pushing yourself into the zone where it's not uncomfortable anymore, but doing that every day. Whereas by doing a load in one day, you're pushing past it once, and then you're kind of gliding through it. Now, it might seem that I'm advocating for the first option, but in terms of personal growth, I think the second option is better, because when you're pushing yourself, even in a little bit of a way, to discomfort each day, then that has a net positive impact on your life, even if you're not continuing to just go absolutely berserk with it. After a couple hours each day, you're still doing it. You're still like pushing yourself a bit, and that's something that you need to know. You need to know that if you push yourself to discomfort regularly, it's better than pushing yourself to discomfort once and then doing a load of work after it, because the first one establishes a habit. Like, a habit is formed when you keep doing something you don't like day after day after day, and that's really what you need to be getting at. It's like more of a long term positive, whereas a short term positive would be only arisen from what I mentioned next, which would be just doing a load of stuff at once. So I'm going to bring this example to me now because it's kind of hard to talk about it abstractly with no proof. So on Friday, I cold called for about 2 day no 4 hours straight, and I just didn't stop at all. I didn't take a break. Of course, there were points where I was just looking up stuff, and that there you could technically qualify it as a break, but I was still looking up numbers. I pushed past my comfort zone relatively quickly on that day. I'd say I was, to be honest, I wasn't even nervous at all going in because I had just done a couple of days before that. But I went on for 4 hours straight, and I got to the point of where I was tiring myself out. And that's actually pretty good progress, but it's good progress in the day to day. It's not good progress exactly for in life as a whole, because it would also mean that I'd be more unlikely to do a cold call than the next day, and I didn't do one the next day, but that's only because it was a weekend, which was just an independent circumstance anyway, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, I did some cold calls today. I only did I don't know how many I did, but I only did it for 2 hours, and I don't think I got half the amount I got done on Friday. And what matters is not so much about getting a huge volume right away, because I do work today, and I don't want to tire myself out too much on my first day. But where was I? Um, but the thing is, I'm establishing a habit, and that's what I was doing for the first few weeks. It wasn't so much about the results from cold calling, it was about getting the cold calls done with every single day, even if it was only 10 of them, and becoming the type of person who is able to keep cold calling and doesn't get too nervous and can handle business situations on the phone. And I did that today pretty well, if I do say so myself. I handled it a lot better than I would have been able to handle it 3 weeks ago. But I still didn't do 4 hours today. That was the only thing. I only did 2 hours. But it's the cumulative build up every single day that's the main important thing when you're intending to grow. That's what you need. Just a cumulative build up. Push yourself outside your comfort zone by actually starting the cold calls. Like, just cold call someone, and it's better than cold calling like 100 people on one day and not doing it at all the other days. Just cold calling one person for 100 days, that's much better. because then you're used to it. Like you're used to being able to do it again and again, and that's really going to be the more long term profitable strategy for you and your business development. So yeah, that's really all I had to say. Um, just put yourself into the ring, but you don't need to go for about 20 rounds every time. You only need to go for about maybe 2 or 3 rounds, but keep going into the ring every day. That's better than going into the ring one day in your life and fighting 20 rounds and then getting bulldozed by the guy and then you quit because you you didn't know when it was time to stop. And that just discourages you, and you just don't know how you're going to suffer it again, but you can suffer it. Just don't suffer it for as long, but suffer it for more long in the long run. That's a good thing to employ. Anyway, yeah, make sure you. It's like doing small things every day. It's better than doing big things all in one day. So, yeah, make sure you just balance that out well.